Okay, so we're now on our way to the Survivor Series. Just finished Hell in a Cell. So we get the Authority in the ring hyping up Seth Rollins winning and Orton losing. So Orton comes out and of course attacks Seth Rollins. Which makes sense. They've been pushing for this for quite some time. The opening segment was more or less kind of really brief recap of what happened in Hell in a Cell. Show and Henry team up to take on the Dusts. We've been known for quite some time that Henry's going to have a heel turn. It's just, Show and Henry have not been on the same page for quite some time. And of course, during this match, the world's largest athlete in the World Strong Married is flat out dominating the Dusts. Knockout punch. Henry's kind of like, hey, I don't like how you're treating me, Show. Show's like, what are you talking about? We're gonna win. World's Strongest Slam. Stardust gets a pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that works. Not the only tag match we had. The team of Mizdow and The Miz takes on the Usos. The crowd is so hot for Mizdow, it's ridiculous. Just flat out ridiculous. And of course, the Usos end up getting the victory. But just brilliantly done how Mizdow is doing this stuff. It's just awesome. Cesaro and Ambrose were supposed to have a match, and Ambrose came out and he more or less talked about, I don't know what you did, Bray. I don't know why you did it. I don't care. He then beats Cesaro with the microphone. Like repeatedly. That makes him start. And then calls out Wyatt. Wyatt cuts. Nice promo. I'm waiting to hear what his new music is. You can tell Wyatt definitely is a lot darker. Looking forward to it. Should be really interesting. Alicia Fox took on AJ. Man, I swear I saw that match last week. With Paige on commentary. Man, I swear I saw that match last week. How'd they make it different? Paige is involved towards the end, kind of pushes Alicia Fox, which leads to her losing. Kind of a send-off of what happened last night at Hell in a Cell. Paige and then Alicia Fox get into a little tiff. Paige leaves her lane. Okay, so I guess we're still going to see, I guess now maybe it's a triple threat, Alicia Fox, AJ, and Paige at Survivor Series. Just throwing out the idea. The Authority again that makes the play for John Cena, saying, hey, if you join us, things will be easier. Man, I could have swore they did that before. Man, what pay-per-view did that? Was that SummerSlam? When they tried the exact same scenario, and then they brought in Lesnar to destroy John Cena? Man, I could have sworn we just saw almost this exact same discussion at the last big pay-per-view. Oh, we did. But wait a minute. If Team Authority's been taking on Team Cena, how will John Cena take on Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series? So we'll go another with the title being defended. They overhear Ziggler talking to Cena, which then has Kane face Ziggler. And, it's Kane in a match on Raw, so he's not going to win. Good match, nice back and forth. And they're like, alright. Okay. John Cena then attacks Kane, which that's of course the main event, which is Seth Rollins, John Cena. Rollins, heavily taped ribs, selling pretty much everything. There's a lot of good heel stuff in the beginning. Their match is actually really good. Seth Rollins, when he was in the Shield, took on John Cena in the main event. It was a solid match. This again, solid match. John Cena, of course, is going to win. Picks the ankle during a curb stop attempt. Kane comes down, and Ziggler comes down, and the whole locker room comes down, and fans from the crowd are charging in. And then Sting drops from the ceiling and lays everybody out, and then Marty Jannetty shows up as the last person, super kicks the ring. Ring implodes, everyone is getting knocked unconscious. Then Marty Jannetty stands in the center of the ring, defying the Authority. No, they emptied the locker room, and then John Cena hit AAs and like all the remaining like low to mid card guys. Bo Dallas issued an open challenge. And then feed me more hit. That's right, Ryback is back. And he's face Ryback. Last week, Monday Night Wars focused on Goldberg. And I can remember Goldberg kind of got pushed too fast, too hard, too soon, and then he kind of got neutered. And I was like, man, Vince and company knew what happened with Goldberg, right? They knew it wasn't going to turn out good, right? The same thing with Ryback. Then turned him heel. But then he got injured. Cut that awesome promo where he was like drugged. And it was great. Because, you know, Ryback loves the moms. And of course he just demolishes Bo Dallas and the crowd enjoyed it. I'm like, good stuff. Nikki took on Naomi. Of course, Nikki won last night, so Brie is now her chattel. And I'm thinking, just, what if Nikki was like, all right, Brie, you have to do the outside of the ring heel stuff. And then Brie did it, and I was like, oh, it's not bad. Seems almost identical to what Tyson Kidd and Natalya are doing, just Brie has to do the heel stuff on the outside. But Rack Attack need to get the victory, you know. Nikki also did an Alabama Slam. And I'm like, alright, you know, she's got a couple of decent power moves. She still needs to learn how to really work a match better, but, you know, she's come a tremendous way from when they made their first comeback. Trying to leave anything out. I feel like there was another match somewhere. But if I'm not recalling it, it must have been that awesome. So, I've got a plan how the E can save things going into the Survivor Series. Got my little dry erase board. Team Cena, very obviously, is going to be Cena, Orton, Ambrose. Those are your three main guys right there. You know, Cena and Orton are almost flat out locks. I think you put Ambrose with that, because I think it makes a lot of sense to have a bunch of people who are in either established feuds, kind of starter feuds, but try to get them all together into this sort of match. It takes it back to the older ways of, you know, if you're first starting into a feud, you do like a tag match or a match of that nature, so you don't have to have, you know, an initial like decisive first win. Then I toss in Ryback because, you know, he's coming back. He's a face. He's a guy the authority probably can't bully around as easily. And the last guy, it's probably going to go Ziggler. I think Sheamus works there really well too. On the other side, you've got Rollins, Kane, Wyatt. I think you add Rusev to this mix. Why? Rusev, Ryback. Or if you put in Sheamus, Rusev, Sheamus. Rusev, Cena. That, so many great pairings you could have with that. But then end with Cesaro. But with Cesaro and any of those guys is an awesome match. I have something happen to Kane, drop Kane out of the heel team, and then put Brock Lesnar in his place. That way Lesnar's on a pay-per-view, and you could then see the following matchups. Lesnar, Cena, we really don't care about. Lesnar, Orton, and Lesnar's hometown, Orton's hometown of St. Louis, awesome. Lesnar, Ryback. Interesting to see those two guys in the ring. Lesnar, Sheamus, if he's part of the team, would be interesting to see those guys in the ring. So you could do this really great back and forth. I do picture too that probably could take out, you know, maybe take out like Ambrose and Wyatt, and instead put in Big Show and Henry. You know, they've got a lot of other people who are in feuds that you can kind of blend into it to try to make the authority team have a lot more just raw, massive power on it. But I do think you put Rusev on there. Rusev can lose by count out, disqualification. As long as they get pinned or submitted, you can put Rusev in there, he can do a great job, and he can lose but still benefit the authority team greatly. Maybe they'll do a 5-on-5 Divas match too. But all in all, I liked the way Hell in a Cell ended. This Raw, with the exception of pretty much finding out that we're not going to see Lesnar at Survivor Series, did a pretty good job. I'm looking forward to a nice 5-on-5. As long as it's not Cena rising above logic and good booking, and aligning himself with poor WWE creativity and just demolishing the entire Authority by himself. Don't make the Authority the new Nexus, where John Cena defeats 7 guys at one time.